Barber Shop Podcast, episode number 42, part of the big 420 conspiracy, Ryan. You got to give props out to number 42.
42.
42 is in numerology. Yeah. It means happy times.
If we do this for 10 more years, we'll hit 420.
We will, and we're going to do it for 10 more years because the glory is amazing. You know, you live in the rock and roll lifestyle almost every single day. We've got
every single week,
in and out, but we get to relive it every day in our dreams, and it's that good.
Yeah,
you know, we got some amazing musicians coming in here week in, week out. I am never disappointed, always thrilled. We got some incredible feedback. People happy that they get to see a side of the musical story here in Hamilton and around the world about how great the music is coming out here in Hamilton. And we've got some guys in here this week who, thanks to you, I became aware of and am a huge fan right now. So, Ryan, why don't you do the favor and tell us a little bit about 40 Sons and introduce the guys that you've done some great video work with.
Yeah. 40 Sons, Repic, Spick, Link, and Christiano. Yep.
Hello.
Going up. What's up? I met Link a decade ago, doing
wasn't a while, wasn't it?
in the Metalama days. He got a hold of me and said he's in a new band, and I seen you guys years ago as 40 Sons and Daughters, but you guys dropped that and went with the more memorable stick in your head. Yeah.
The quick and to the point version.
Yeah.
So what was the transition? First of all, when you guys first started hooking up, was it 10 years that this band has been?
Roughly 9.
Roughly between 9 and 10. Yeah.
And the original lineup, or the original idea of what was forming up 10 years ago, how much of that is hold true today, or 9 years later, or is it kind of just gone through different transformations?
Well, it's definitely transformed a bit, but it definitely has the same sound. We got most of the same players too, so it holds true to what we started it as, like our influences and stuff. So,
well, let's talk about that. Like, I want to hear from each of you. Like, who kind of, like, what was the first band at that magic age of 10, 11, 12 that blew your fucking head off? And you said, and you made your parents sick listening to it over and over again.
Manson. I was obsessed with him. I couldn't get enough, and he's just the persona on stage was just way too intense, and I wasn't allowed to listen to him for a long time. I think that made me want to listen to him more.
I think that happened with Alice Cooper. It happened with my generation with Kiss, and it happened with like that spectacle when you're a boy at that age. It's like it puts that danger and that thrill in rock and roll.
Yeah, for sure.
And how about you, Spick?
Me, I think it started when I was a lot younger. Before I even listened to any kind of music, I had this Wayne's World, the soundtrack for it, and I kept on repeat rewinding to Bohemian Rhapsody and just rocking out and singing the whole thing. And then I didn't play guitar or anything for a long time, and then eventually I got into Guns N' Roses, and that's when I sparked my interest. I just learn all the songs, and just from there I just want to start a band and
live the life, because it's true. I mean, the Gunners, like, I think changed a lot of people's lives.
Oh, of course.
I'm older, but when that came along, it was like it saved rock and roll to me, because it had been a big hole for a long time. And someone said that it's not grunge that killed hair metal, it was the Gunners, because especially right out of LA in that area, it was like that, all of the attention, everything that was put on that genre of music, boom, overnight.
It made that music a lot more real too. Like, those guys were dirty rock stars, and they didn't have to wear makeup and dress in pink tights and stuff like that.
Yeah, hair metal deserved to die anyway.
Yeah, it has its place, but I feel bad for the guys who are doing tours now and they're my age. They have to put that pink spandex.
I think Motley Crue's doing all right,
but do that. You need a trainer. And Christiano, like, have you always been a drummer, or is that what you've fallen into that instrument on more than one night?
Well, I started off just playing guitar. I bought one of those really sharp-looking metal Ibanez guitars, and started playing for a while. And then my uncle always had a drum kit, so I started playing drums, and it just felt natural to me. And then when we started the band, it got more involved in the whole drumming element.
Yeah, there was at a point where you said, no, this is what I'm going to do, because quite often it's like there's a lot of guys who can play drums well, and people are like, well, we just have to kind of sort out who slots the best in this instrument right now, and as long as you have fun doing it and you're good at it, I guess.
It always made sense to, like, the bands we started in high school, me and Spick. We're in the same guitar class, and we started jamming a lot and playing, and I played guitar too, but it just made more sense playing drums with him because we just kind of we liked the same music. We were all, you know, like he said, we were into all that stuff.
You're the only drummer, few drummers that do this, that listen and they're like, oh, listen to that fill, the tone on the left tom, and you know, you need a drummer to be that committed to be really good.
That's
so
insane.
Well, who was what kind of music when you wanted to start a band? What was the band that made you want to start your own band?
When I started, I guess a lot of kids, you know, at that age, in, you know, grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, all go through this stage of liking the most progressive and ridiculous bands they could come across. Like, you know, I was a big Dream Theater fan. Actually, Spick got me into Dream Theater and just, you know, kind of helped you to think outside the box when you started writing songs and writing drum fills and writing parts. So I really liked them. But earlier on, I was really into Korn. Like, you know, I just thought they were really badass, and everything about them was just really dark, and I really liked the drummer, and Zeppelin as well. I guess everybody digs Zeppelin.
yeah, for sure. And you find those things kind of creep their way into your system. Like, people will ask you down the road, like, who influences you, and you're not conscious of it, but when you start hearing yourself, what you've done on record, you know, there's definitely times when you'll probably be able to pick that stuff out. Yeah,
and then there's other times where you don't even realize it, and then, you know, somebody will say, hey, that kind of sounds like this, and you're like, oh yeah, it does. Like, I never thought of it that way, but definitely, it's that holds a lot of truth in what we do.
That's good. So. That's good pedigree anyway. If you're
I think you learn to mold what you're kind of writing, you know, and your own style of music. So it's pretty cool.
And what about you, Link? You were like a metalhead, or you were into Fast
definitely
and Furious music?
Definitely at one point I just wanted to play all the notes as soon as I could, and I looked up to bass players who did that, and, you know, learned my Primus and, you know, Rush and Mudvayne and all of that early on in high school. And then I started playing in bands and realized you're not supposed to do that.
Who's Charlie Mingus over here harshing my buzz?
Yeah, I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm playing bass. Yeah, everyone wants to hear this.
Yeah,
everyone's just like, chill, man. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'll listen to some John Paul Jones or something. Yeah.
So is that a progression where it just kind of happened over time, or you just kind of said, no, I have to actually play less because that's what, you know, is being requested of me?
No, you know what? I'm pretty stubborn. It wasn't until, like, I started appreciating those bass players that I started playing like that. Because, you know, people would be like, don't play like that. And I was just like, well, fuck you. I'll find a band I can play like that in. And I did. And
I think it's a big maturity thing. Eventually, once you realize you should hold back as a rhythm section, it totally lets the music breathe, which a lot of those bands don't.
Yeah, now the stuff I listen to is like, you know, like John Paul Jones, I think the best bass player of all time, because, like,
and it's hugely underrated because his name doesn't get mentioned that often when people start banding.
I don't know. I think, like, when you ask, like, who's the best bass player of all time, like, probably like 60% of the time people will say John Paul Jones. So
yeah, but when you mention Led Zeppelin, you see Plant and Page. You know, like, that's usually the
and Bonham and John Paul Jones.
They're
it's always the four guys.
Sure, they're all spectacular, but
but. Yeah, I don't know. It's just when you get to that point where you're listening to the whole band and you're like, wow, the thing that the bass player did made the vocals really pop there. Yeah. And it might be something really simple.
Yeah, so and that brings us back to, like, playing together. There's a synergy, and when you feel it, it's like love. You know, there's a magic that happens. I mean, just with it just when you could have a jam that the notes are played, and then on the next turnaround, 16 or 24 bars later, it's starting to take on a personality in those holes, and that breathing starts to happen. And I guess you guys have been making original music for a long time. Did you know when you had this setup of the band right now that this is it? This is the one? Was it easier to write and create?
Yeah, like, it just every year it gets easier to. In a way, it does and it doesn't, because we get we're getting like more mature in the way we write, but we also get more thick-headed and want stuff a certain way, and we know we can get it but then somebody else wants something a certain way. But I mean, for the jamming and just writing on the spot, it definitely comes like in no time. That's why we write a lot of songs, actually. If we start to pick at stuff, then it actually takes longer, but the way you're talking is we love doing that.
Yeah, and a lot of times too we'll be writing a track, and we'll be writing and everything will come into place, but then we'll say, okay, we kind of need a different chorus for this. And this actually happened the other day, so we wrote a different chorus for it, but then that chorus doesn't really fit in that song, so then we start writing another song to
that's beautiful to let
chorus.
go.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you start to drive yourself mad, right? Because you're like all over the planet. But
so the writing process isn't cookie cutter for you guys. You try different methods of writing.
Oh yeah, completely.
Yeah.
We literally have just days worth of demos on everyone's phones, and
you record everything like when you sit down.
Even at gigs we'll be sound checking and we'll be super pressed for time, and then one of us will start riffing and we're like, wait, we have to record this. And we're already like 10
and that gets super frustrating because now we got like 100 songs and only so much dough to spend on studio time.
Yeah. No, it must get frustrating because it's when it starts to flow, you don't want to put the brakes on it. You just want to keep writing, and then there's songs that you don't want to neglect. But, do you try to finish the song, or do you have ones in various states of completion, like you're working on a bunch of cars?
Yeah, we do have various states of completion, that's for sure. We have some that are just like tink, and then there's some that are like full-blown songs, but we do try to finish them all, but it never happens. We get more ideas, like they come up every day, each of us. Like I know, like literally at home every day I'll just record 2 or 3 ideas, and there's no way we can work on that and then work on songs that we worked on in the past. And it's just
we've got tunes that we've played live like 5 times, and then they just completely fall off the face of the earth, and they'll be our favorite song for like a month, and then we'll be like, this is going on the next record for sure, and then the sound evolves. Like,
we definitely have a bit of ADD going on with that.
So what was the first, before you guys together, what was the first great gig that you guys had where you were like, that's that was the feeling back from the crowd that I've been looking for?
There was one great gig in Hanover. There was like a big festival, and that was like 2,000 people. It was crazy. I think probably the biggest gig, or one of the biggest gigs we've ever played. And
especially headlining too.
Yeah, and that felt amazing. That
little cottage country, Lake Erie beach craziness. We and Ryan were in a band. We went out there remember we went to Hanover, Captain Easy, and we played that double-sided room, and
Vaguely. Which probably means it was awesome.
Usually I was just down Lake Erie a couple of weeks ago, and I forgot how awesome it was because the sunset was great, and it was 45 minutes to go.
I do remember that now. Yeah.
The sunset just triggered all those.
The guy. Remember, there was a guy in a parachute, and he landed on. It's like that guy they jumped out of an airplane, and like 4 of them went one way.
It was Canada Day, right?
Wow. One guy went the wrong way. Long ways.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I see my house from here.
I think the smell of gin gets his memory going from that gig.
Yeah, that was. We won't bring that situation up. Maybe it's best we just keep that. Some things are better left unsaid.
I woke up in a bathtub, and the bathroom door was locked, and Christiano thought I was dead because my phone alarm was going off for like an hour and a half.
And every shot, it's like, tastes like Christmas trees, and by like the 10th he's like, tastes like Christmas trees.
Meanwhile, during the gig, people are feeding us beers and shots, and
it was great on stage too. We were playing, and people, some chicks kept wanting to come on stage, so we said, okay, if you want to come up. Then some guys said they want to come on stage, so we said, okay, why not, right? And they had enough security, but not quite enough by the end of the night. So the stage was actually, like, before we knew it, there was like 80 people on stage, and it was a big outdoor thing, but the stage was like shaking, and everybody. Then we ended up getting in trouble.
Well, the stage manager comes running, and he's like, "I can't support this weight." And I'm like trying to push people off. People are like, "No, I don't want to go off. You just want chicks on here." I'm like, "No, we're all gonna fucking die. Like, get the fuck off the stage."
And they weigh less than you, so I'll get to them last.
Actually, it was when the dudes started coming up that it got out of hand. They're just like, "Well, fuck this, we're gonna come up too. And then we yelled at them. We're just like, no, dudes. And then later on, we're walking to our hotel after, you know, all our like post-gig mingling. We're like passing a bottle around, stumbling over to the hotel, and then these guys come up to us and they're like, you're the guys from that band. You told us to get off stage. And we're like, dude, if you were us, you'd do the same thing.
Yeah.
By the end of it, no one was getting off, so I jumped off the stage with my mic and just sang from there because I thought it was going to collapse and everyone was going to die. Like, fuck this.
Then there was one dude on stage with his, you know, backwards hat on, all hammered, can't even stand up. You know, doesn't have his shirt on, and he's like just, you know, dancing around, and one of the security guards comes up and pushes the guy off stage, and literally it was something out of a movie, because, you know, you'd think that he'd push him right into the crowd, but as soon as he pushed him, a big hole opened up in the middle of the crowd, and boom, right on his face.
Oh,
there's a video of that.
There's a video. And Spick's going to the mic. He's okay. He's okay. He's okay.
Not responsible.
Guy gets up, his ears bleeding.
Yeah.
So you've you know, you've taken your time, you see what's going on, and when you've put out your latest CD, has it been kind of like a testimony to everything up to this point, or is this another bullet in the gun for you guys? Like, I want to hear about the recording process and how did this one. Some babies are difficult, some come out easy.
This one was definitely
a C-section plan.
An unplanned C-section.
It was like having triplets.
Yeah.
Out of your dick hole.
What was what was the concept when you went in versus, like, did you want to say, I just, you know, we want it to be the biggest, slickest thing?
Well, our first thought was, let's just do like 3 tunes, put out like a little EP. It's been a while since we recorded, and it was like turn into 5 tunes, turn into 7, turn into 10, 11 at the end. Yeah, and
2 on. Like
a week
in post-production.
Yeah.
Because you need that magic number. I've always believed that. You need 11 or 12. You know, that's an album. You know,
10 is weird. I don't like 10 tunes on an album.
No, you need slightly more.
Unless we're writing 10-minute songs, it's, you know, it's a little different.
But the process, it was like some came easy, some came hard, or...
Well, a lot of them were a bunch of tunes that were written over the course of like 4 years, guys.
Maybe not that long, but yeah.
One of the tunes we're gonna play today, acoustically, it was like an old song, and we just rehashed it and came back in the studio. We wanted to do it for so long, just didn't have the time, and then a lot of the tunes, like we wrote Hurricane literally a week before going into the studio, so it's just a whole amalgamation of 4 years of, you know, writing.
Yeah, Hurricane came together in like one jam session, basically. Showdown Joe from the UFC announcer, Showdown Joe, just came down to our jam space, and he was like, I want you guys to write the theme song for my show. And we're like, yeah, okay, we can do that. And then we literally went downstairs, and I think Chris filmed us like coming up with the song. And
our manager, Chris, if you're wondering who that is.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chris. How you doing?
Hello, Chris.
Chris Humphreys.
Hello,
great
Chris
work
Humphreys.
with the boys, I must say. It's fabulous. They look great. They're well behaved. You've done good work. So I want you to get cracking and play some live music in studio. I know you like to usually be very loud and proud, so you've got a kind of a hybrid version here. You're gonna go basically acoustic, but these, I guess, are variations on some of the songs, you know, that you put on the CD, which is called
40 Sons.
You can't mess with that.
Nope.
And
Self-titled.
the links are going to be on our page, barbershoppodcast.com. And we're going to play a couple really smoking videos that the band has produced with Ryan. And we're lucky enough to get them to actually do some tunes live, and it's always a pleasure when the bands have the chops to come in and are willing to throw it down live. So we're going to give you a little bit of 40 Sons right here at barbershoppodcast.com. What are we going to hear, guys?
All right, this is off our last CD. It's called The Only Witness, off Madness, if you want to find it. All right, are we good to go?
Good to go.
a dark king, a dark throne, a dark dream to destroy the world. Don't concern yourself with this. There's nothing to deal with. No need of lies, stay inside. Turn your head and shut your eyes. Keep it locked inside your face. 'Cause you're the only witness. Time lost control more than you believe. I'm blind. And once you wake from this dream, this perfect life you believe is free. The dark world will unfold. Seems you are alone, so you rise up and make a fist. A bigger dreams are limitless. So back down and don't resist, 'cause you're the only witness. Time lost control more than you believe. I'm blind. Time lost control more than you can see. I'm blind. A dark king, a dark throne, a dark dream to destroy the world. But don't concern yourself with this. The only witness. Lost control more than you believe. I'm blind. Lost control more than you can see. I'm blind. And I'm the only witness. And I'm the only witness. The only witness, yeah, yeah. The only witness.
40 Sons coming live to you at Barber Shop Podcast, Boxo Studio, Hamilton, Ontario. Blessed to have such amazing talent. Repic, your voice is really strong and sweet. Like, did you take lessons?
I've taken a few here and there, but I don't know. Everyone has such a different way of explaining things.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was super hard to grasp concepts of how you feel internally when you sing,
right?
Because everyone's completely different. But I don't know, just from performing with these dudes for 9 years, just kind of eventually comes. And
yeah, because the singing your own voice is a difficult thing when you're starting out, and to be able to do it and then have that range, you know, it seems like you're very comfortable to go, you know, in either direction.
Yeah.
You know, don't feel a lot of strain. So, you know, and the band plays seamlessly together. You know, I have to say, nice job, guys. That's great. So the live performance, again, has got to be a huge part of what you do, why you do it, right? It's like to go out and actually play live. You have to do it yourself, and you have to be a pretty good promoter. And you guys are active in social media, and you know how to work your crowd. But you've got a lot of loyal fans, don't you?
Yeah, completely.
You know, like these guys are nuts about you, and it's like really nice to have. When
Yeah, definitely.
You know, your own little army that's just standing up for you to get the word out.
Yeah, especially when we've been doing this so long. Like, it's nice to see people still believing in what we're doing, and you know, they don't give up, and like we're not giving up, kind of thing too. It feels good. Yeah, to have people, you know, digging our shit for till the end, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they really come through for us when we need them. You know, it's like with the Pledge Music thing when we were releasing our album. we had to like raise some money to get it all together, and we kind of hit a roadblock with finally putting it out.
Right.
And we kind of went out to our fans and put it out to this website called Pledge Music, and actually ended up getting donations from like even where was it, like Norway and Germany and England, and
you were
people who had found our stuff
you were selling your dreads on there too. I remember. I remember noticing
I think the price was a little high.
It was a little high, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind one, but yeah, it was a little steep.
I think they wanted to contaminate it first, but we didn't offer that service. So.
Well, that's truth in numbers, because George was in here from Radio Free Universe last week, and he's they got a real core of people in Sweden who love them, and the internet today, for all the things that are maybe wrong with it, it gives you that reach, that you can actually set a fire somewhere,
completely
miles away. So what are some of the other places where you've heard from where they're digging what you're doing?
Well, Peru.
They're very musical. Not like all South America, but anyone who's played down there or says you got to hear some of this stuff.
Yeah,
it's amazing. We've never heard of these guys, but listen to this, and it's just incredible music.
Tons of people from Germany, actually, especially with this new record. The overseas thing has like been booming more than it ever has for us.
And we weren't purposely trying to reach out there or anything. It just kind of organically they found us somehow, and it's just, I said they bought our tunes on iTunes or whatever, and they just loved it, and it's weird.
Yeah, since the videos came out, there's a lot of comments on the
it must
videos.
Be
like,
that.
come to Germany, and we're like, we can't.
We wish.
Yeah.
You want to fly us out?
Yeah, but I mean that's the first step, right? You get the demand, and all of a sudden someone's putting a festival on, and they're like, okay, there's a bunch of people who'd love to see you over here. So let's talk about the video a bit. Okay, it's really, I was blown away when I saw it. I thought the song, the production of the song, and the production of the video tied in with this was really good.
Which video are we talking about?
Well,
I have the guns queued up first.
We got Ryan, the mastermind, behind all these.
That was my baby. That's that's one of my my very proud moments was that video. That one turned out really, really good. We put a lot of time into it. 2 locations. We had actors. Shout out to Roman Marconi at Porcelain Studios, Porcelain Records.
They let us use their studio to film
cool
it.
Place.
And we had a publicist, and she was like, just give me another video as quickly as possible. So we did this one, and she's like, okay, I'm pitching it to Much Music, or like, give me a video and I'll pitch it to Much Music, because she has ties in with them. And the second we gave it to her, she's like, nope.
No, I can't.
Absolutely not.
So this it's a mini movie. Well, it's a I Have the Gun. It's first of all, the song title that came out was right in the wake of the Sandy Hook shootings, and it was like bad timing.
Unintentional.
Yeah, maybe
completely unintentional. But the lyrics themselves, tell a story. And
it's an anti-gun song.
I think our first meeting about the video was like days after Sandy Hook. It was.
Yeah, I think it was.
We'd already had that idea in mind for like months, and that's what. Yeah, I think we actually had to. We changed the concept because of that. It was. It was
worse.
It was unfortunately a lot closer to what
originally you had in mind,
and then we kind of spun it for like a domestic violence case, which I think it turned out really well.
Yeah, I think it's pretty. It's bullshit that they won't show that, but they'll show the news every single day, and they'll glorify this fucking school shooting, and they don't pay attention to any of the heroes in it. They always pay attention to the villains, and they'll be on the cover of the Times and Rolling Stone and whatever for doing these horrible things. We make a little music video about a story
that's a teaching, that's going to teach a kid about something, make them think in a very critical manner about something that was hugely important to people to talk about. And here's it just was a gift at the right time, and it gets buried because people are just not prepared for it.
I'd love to open up a dialogue about something like that, but they just bury it.
Yeah. So and music has always kind of had to carry that standard. If you can, the dance music is going to exist when people want to forget about their troubles. They don't want to start thinking, and they're going to dance. But there's always going to be a huge core of people to whom lyrics in music, you know, it's like that combination of what the words are doing to me and what the music is doing to me, you know, and it's actually putting me in a position where I can appreciate both, you know, to a much greater extent. Ryan, anything about the video you want to tell us about? There's a couple of those stories about technical things, you know, just coming up with ideas, I guess, on the fly, and being able to work with guys who are, you know, willing to. Well,
the original deal, or idea changed, 4 or 5 times. I actually did a storyboard. I'm the worst, stick man artist out there. I actually should.
You're better than me, though, Ryan. I'll give you that.
And then it changed from there to a abusive dad. Yeah. And then our actor fell through at the last minute, and we got the abusive boyfriend instead. And shout out to Mandy Lynn and
Lee Talecki.
Yeah, he
our
came
2 actors,
and we're like, I don't know. Cristiano showed us Lee's headshot, or just a pic that Lee had taken on his phone, and we're like, this would. For some reason, just the angle of it, he looked like really old
this could still
kind
work.
Of like, you know, like kind of pudgy. And he gets in, and the guy's like fucking jacked, and he looks
Jackman,
like in his late 20s and like handsome, and we're like, this guy can't be her dad.
No.
So we literally just changed it from being her, and and then
it all turned out well, though. It actually really worked, and
it was meant to happen.
I guess so.
Well, let's see it. How about that, Ryan?
All right, let's do it.
I have the gun. 40 Sons, barbershoppodcast.com.
Leave me, everyone, 'cause I'm not having fun. Oh, you better run, 'cause I have the gun. My silence, my weakness, the secret I'm keeping. Can't let them see me, now I'm on my own. Until I can stop it, my future is stagnant. Alone here, waiting, I am a stone. Leave me, everyone, 'cause I'm not having fun. Oh, you better run, 'cause I have a gun. I grind all my teeth out so I can speak out. Wish I could sneak out, but it's been too long. Now I just can't move, the dream finally come through. With all I've gone through, I am alone. Leave me, everyone, 'cause I'm not having fun. Oh, you better run, 'cause I have a gun. Until it's said and done, and I'm the only one. Oh, you better run, 'cause I have a gun. But no one is listening, 'cause I have a gun. But no one is listening, 'cause I have a gun. Oh, beneath this hate of someone else. Oh, beneath this hate, I have no gun. But no one is listening. Leave me, everyone, 'cause I'm not having fun. Oh, you better run, 'cause I have the gun. Leave me, everyone, 'cause I'm not having fun. Oh, you better run, 'cause I have the gun. Until it's said and done, and I'm the only one. Oh, you better run, 'cause I have the gun. But no one is listening, 'cause I have the gun. But no one is listening, 'cause I have the gun. But no one is listening, 'cause I have the gun. But no one is listening, 'cause I have the gun.
barbershoppodcast.com. Like, you know what?
I'll take the blame for that one. We were telling stories of the day of the shoot.
You know, and it's like the funny things that happen. You're like, oh, I remember what she was doing right before that. And, well, you got it done. You got it wrapped up. It's nice. So, and you know, there you've got a product that's you can attach your name to it and get it out there. I mean, have you found that some of the opportunities have kind of opened up because of the internet? Or
big
time. Yeah, I agree.
Things like shows, festival booking, stuff like that. It really helps with things like that, and to get your name out there. When you're booking a tour and you put out some ads, or you promote the videos in each individual town you're going to.
Yeah.
Really helps with the to capture that specific demographic of people who would dig our music, certain age groups or whatever. It's an awesome tool. That's
nowadays
the game nowadays, right?
Now that there's videos, music by itself isn't enough, especially for fans. They want to see what they're listening to. Promoters want to see who they're booking. They don't want to just go by listening anymore. So videos is the standard now. Music's
those poor thing Charlie Pride used to have to run into all the time, being a black country singer. Like, what? No, there's no video.
Sorry,
1961. It was sucking for him back then.
Man, I feel for him.
But you guys, it's obviously a hassle to a certain extent, because you got to look good, and you got to be in shape, and you got to not eat the chicken wings sometimes, probably when you want to. And then, it's because it's part and parcel of marketing the band, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. No, it's I don't know.
It's never struggling. You've been yourself, though. You never actually have to sit down and have meetings of what our stage gear is going to look like or anything. You just basically.
Yeah, we just nothing pink, nothing flannel. I guess
we're just kind of really. We're overly open with one another to the point where it's really mean. Someone will get new shoes and they're walking around all confident, and one of us will just be like, "Your shoes look dumb. Get new shoes."
Yeah, you're not going on stage with those fucking things.
And then
no way.
And then that person's sad for a day, and then they get new shoes. And don't wear that shirt again.
Yeah.
That's just how
everyone
we are.
was looking.
My mom got me this shirt.
Not the right
Tell her
way.
she's dumb.
I think I'm going to get you to play some more music. The last one was so damn good. And I want you to play as many as possible that we can get in here. This is a treat, again, to have live music. It's not always the easiest thing to get all of the sounds working together, but once again, Ryan, you've done a wonderful job polishing the dirty, dusty, old knobs of Boxo Studio.
Yeah, the Boxo board.
Yeah. Boxo dust.
We make the best with what we have. We are a low-budget indie podcast.
We're a vibe heavy.
Yeah.
Vibe heavy.
Yeah. Now accepting sponsors for barbershoppodcast.com.
Get in line.
For the price of one sound console, you can have a little bit of advertising.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's other stuff we need too.
Yeah.
Can we advertise our band in there?
Absolutely.
We have no money.
We have no money, though.
No? You got a nice 24-channel console lying around?
Got an old PA, because our band needs a PA.
We have some old gear, that's for sure.
We'll talk.
Everything is possible right here at barbershoppodcast.com. What do you got, guys? What are you going to do for us?
A song called "Who Do You Think You Are" off our new album.
Excellent. Off of the new 40 Sons
Yep.
CD here at Barbershop Podcast. Who do you think you are?
Tell me why this means nothing to you. Tell me why you got nothing to lose. Now I'm high and I can see the abuse. And now I'm high, my neck's caught in your noose. You always pull me in, feel like I'm whole again. Open your fucking heart, or choke it in the dark. You don't know the pain that you cause. I could be the one that you're looking for, but I'll be You drag me down so you can stand over me. You drag me down so you can feel complete. The writing's on the wall, you don't care at all. You'd rather this instead, holding my fucking head. You don't know the pain that you caused. I could be the one that you're looking for, but I became the one that you ignored. Who do you think you are? You don't know the pain that you've caused, 'cause you didn't understand what you've done. I'm so glad to see you suffer. I could be the one that you're looking for, but I became the one that you ignored. I could be the one with you today, but I became the one you gave away. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are? 40 Sons, live here at Boxo Studio, at barbershoppodcast.com. That is a song that you can get on iTunes, and, you know, probably for $1, right?
Yeah.
One sweet buck, you can have that. You listen to that doing your workout probably 50 times in a row. You know, I think back to back to back.
Oh, yeah.
No problem.
Oh yeah.
Now, is that a song that had been kicking around for a while that you just loved? Because it's got more hooks in a tackle box. It's got,
Particularly, that was this. Yeah, I'm gonna use that. Particularly, we were talking earlier about a song that was on the album that was quite a bit older, and that was the one that's been around for a while, and we just decided to bring it back. I love the vibe, and
yeah, it's got a great vibe to it. It's kind of gnarly and nasty, you know. And again, your vocals, you know, they fit in a pocket, and a lot of times, you know, that's a struggle, especially when you're mixing. You know, I'm sure Ryan could probably attest to that. You know, to find the vocal to be able to seat it right in the mix,
right in the pocket,
right in the pocket. But you know, you make your own pocket, which is really nice.
Do you have any fishing pocket analogies?
No, not yet. not yet. Pocket fisherman, you know.
Yeah, that's about it.
How about if the hook doesn't fit
you must
in your pocket, it will cut your leg?
With a socket.
Meaning your leg is the song, I guess? No, it doesn't work.
It was close. Good try.
I tried, you know.
They probably have about 6 different Chinese characters. You could put that on, on your arm. That's a tattoo when you line up.
Sit out the next few plays there, champ.
So, who are some of the people that you're like kind of ear candy for you guys right now? What's
I'm obsessed with Mother. I got their albums like 3 months ago, and it's all I've listened to.
And who turned you on to Mother?
I don't even know. I think actually it was you, right? Well, you just
he needs
credit.
You're like, I know of these guys, and I think I'm going to go see them. And I just downloaded the records and just got completely hooked. I remember texting you. I was on the.
Oh man, we just got.
I was on the Smoky Smoke
van on the way home. And then Repic gets back and just texts me like 20 minutes after he gets home. Just Mother is breaking my mind at like 3:30 in the morning.
It was fucking me up.
That's good. What about you, Spick? You got to have something that other than your own stuff, because you go crazy if you only listen to your own stuff over.
I actually never listen to our own stuff, unless we're working on it.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I love what we work on and what we come out with, but it's definitely not our own stuff. You know what? I'm all over the map. Like in the car, I'll listen to classical and jazz music, and then literally I'll rock Queens of the Stone Age at night or something. And Queens of the Stone Age. definitely one of my newer favorite bands. Just get me going, like especially with the guitar work and stuff. Any new records lately? I saw the movie Searching for Sugarman. It's about this guy who was discovered recently, more or less, that was huge in Africa, like Beatles size, huge, like as big as them. And after seeing the movie, the soundtrack was amazing, so I picked up
the guy didn't know he was big there.
Really?
They just they kept bootlegging his tape, and it went around the whole country.
So he's still living like a pauper, you know, and he's got a million records.
Yeah, there was all these stories that he did a final concert and lit himself on fire to kill himself, and he was just like a construction worker.
Yeah, he thought his career was over. He had to start making money again. He didn't sell any records in America, so he ended up being huge in Africa without even knowing it. And then 20 years later, they get picked up, or he gets picked up and says, or the guy says to him, "Do you want to do like sold out shows in all over Africa, in South Africa?"
Because there was no internet. It was back in the 70s, right?
Yeah. It was just.
And so I guess they couldn't find him.
Yeah.
And there was all these rumors floated around that he was dead and whatever. And this this documentary guy, finally searched for him and made this whole thing about him. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyways, that was one of the newer.
You're into now.
Yeah, I just started listening to that. That was really cool. So,
Christiano, something driving you crazy? Did you guys get enough of the crazy kids? This Mumford and Sons.
Oh God!
They played the happy music. There's no swearing, nothing.
I like. I'm all like, you know. I'm like Spick, kind of all over the map. You know. I like a lot of old school rock. Obviously, the Zeppelin. A lot of Bob Marley, as you can tell. You know, sometimes to get pumped up before a show, I'll even listen to some house music, you know, like stuff like that. So it's all the way I'm feeling. But it's pretty much everything except for country for me. But yeah.
You know, and you strike me as probably having a very eclectic record collection, like your playlist.
It's because he doesn't blink, right? Is that why? Is that what made you
watch his eyes? The guy like never blinks. Yeah. No. Mother's the last thing that has been blowing my mind. Also, Ben Howard. This is actually a Ben Howard shirt. You know, a band's like really out there and alternative when like they don't put their name on their own shirt.
No,
you know.
No, you have to be as like was it Kanye? No, or what with the white T-shirt?
The white T-shirt, yeah.
$175 white
just a plain
T-shirt.
white.
It was a plain white T-shirt with no marking.
His name's on the inside at the back.
Honestly,
he sold out.
I love.
We gotta try that, guys. We haven't thought of that one. That's why.
So that's how cool I am.
I just love how shameless Kanye West is with everything. You know, I don't even. He went on Saturday Night Live and did this bit making fun of like what an asshole he is, and just did things on SNL that he normally does. And I was like, yeah, you do that
on a regular basis.
We sell shirts at our shows. They don't have our name on it, but they're just Hanes 3-packs.
But they're $40 a piece, as opposed to $5 for 3.
Yeah, we just Sharpie 40 Sons over the fruit of the loom tag thing.
Totally. You know, that would be such a great
no
inside joke, you know, right next to the rest of your merch. If you were to do that, just have the Hanes shirt with 40 on the inside of the tag.
That's our next shirt.
It's 175.
There you go.
I don't know who to blame more, Kanye or the people who buy them.
Bought them.
Like,
guaranteed a bunch of people did.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, and spent the rest of their days looking around to see if anyone else has the same stitching in the collar. Yeah. Maybe that Egyptian cotton shirt is as special as mine.
They're just walking around hoping someone goes like, "Oh, nice plain white shirt. Where'd you get that?" And you're like, "It's actually a Kanye West
I was
shirt.
waiting for somebody to ask me." Yeah. But that's part of the great thing about being in the music business is being able to make fun of other people. I mean, you get the opportunity all of the time.
Best part.
That's 90% of being a musician is making fun of other people.
I had a friend, and we were going to do one like Mr. X, like Homer was, you know, with the bag, and just, you know, and we'd start with ourselves so they wouldn't suspect us, and just totally rip ourselves a new asshole, right? And then just go through the list of everyone. People get a, you know, I mean, at a certain point, it's a business that's built on ego, and it's a tough thing to have ego and not be a dick. But you know, when you're being a dick, you know, you may get a small gain, but you're not gonna, you know.
Yeah.
And being in a group, because you can't be a dick by yourself, because the other people won't put up with it.
Yeah.
You know, so if you found that, you know, it sounds like you did good work as far as getting yourself publicist and a manager and taking that road. How do you find good people in the business? Just through trial and error, or by people?
Yeah, trial and error. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
There's been so many people that have offered us contracts, and we get like a lawyer to look at it, and he's like, wow, he is like doubling you over and
pirating you.
Yeah. Long story short,
he's
and
pulling
I'm
your
sure you
pants
know
down.
this, there's so many fucking assholes in this business, man. But there's also so many nice people who help you out, and when they help you out, they're there for life. So those are the people that we like to keep close to us.
Chris Humphreys.
Chris Humphreys, yeah. And people on the road too. We go out on the road and our trailer breaks down, and then before you know it, a small town in northern BC has like 8 people coming to help us out to fix our trailer so we can get to the next gig the next day. So those are the people.
That shit happens.
Yeah. It happens constantly.
Yeah, they're not industry people, but the people you meet on the road can be like the coolest shit.
Yeah, it's not easy to tour in Canada, right?
No.
It's like, you got to realize.
So damn big, man.
Yeah, so some fortitude to go in between gigs.
Yeah.
And you've been waiting so long, you're waiting like these kids for Wally World, and and you get its Kenora or something, and you're like, all right.
We got to leave like right after a gig to drive the 16 hours to make it to the next town and
next place.
Yeah. Spick coined this phrase that on our last tour, goddamn big ass Canada. And I think that those words were uttered hundreds of times on our last tour. Just
good shirt material, for sure.
Good idea.
Get a little sponsorship from the feds. Too bad Sheila wasn't still kicking in sponsorship dough. I think that would, make it red and white to the races. I think I'm going to get you to play one more live, and then we're going to go do another video.
Let's do it.
After that. So think about what you might want to do, and even tell us a little bit about it.
All right. Well, we talked about this one a lot.
It's already got a preamble.
I Have the Gun that we saw the video for.
Yeah.
Kind of mix it up a little, do it acoustic styles.
Never actually done this acoustic in any kind of live setting. Maybe once to jam it for fun, but yeah. So this will be the first time.
First time that you heard a version of this song done this way, and you got it here at barbershoppodcast.com, and it's 40 Sons here for you.
Leave me, everyone, cause I'm not... Oh, he doesn't have his guitar amp on. We're going to turn that on.
It's so silent, I can't tell. All right, here we go.
All right.
Here we go.
Leave me, everyone, cause I'm not having fun. Oh, you better run, cause I have the gun. I silence my weakness, a secret I'm keeping. Can't let them see me, now I'm on my own. Until I can stop it, my future is stagnant. Alone here and waiting, I am a stone. Leave me, everyone, cause I'm not having fun. Oh, you better run, cause I have the gun. I ground all my teeth out so I can speak out. Wish I could sneak out, but it's been too long. Now I just can't move, the dream finally come through. With all I've gone through, I am alone. Leave me, everyone, cause I'm not having fun. Oh, you better run, cause I have the gun. Until it's said and done, and I'm the only one. Oh, you better run, cause I have the gun. But no one is left running, cause I have the gun. But no one is left running, cause I have the gun. Underneath this hate, I'm someone else. Underneath this hate, I have no gun. But no one is listening.
Leave me, everyone, 'cause I'm not having fun. All you better run, 'cause I have a gun. Leave me, everyone, 'cause I'm not having fun. All you better run, 'cause I have a gun. Until it's said and done, and I'm the only one. All you better run, 'cause I have a gun. But no one is listening, 'cause I have the gun. But no one is listening, 'cause I have the gun. But no one is listening, 'cause I have the gun. But no one is listening, 'cause I have the gun.
You better run. 40 Sons here at Barber Shop Podcast. Excellent guys. Got another little bit of Hamilton history. You want to talk about the tune that you did on the CD, and that's a video that's getting quite a lot of play right now, and maybe a little Hamilton ass-kicking tradition with Hurricane with the Joslins, you know, because they've been part of martial arts, and this, you know, the UFC is so very popular these days, and they're still working, you know, cranking out kick-ass fighters out of Hamilton, Ontario.
Oh yeah.
Tell me about Hurricane. Tell me about the lyrics, how they came to you, about the song.
We were talking about it before. I met Showdown Joe. He's a UFC analyst. And he just said, hey, can you write a song for my radio show? And he came to meet us. And we started immediately talking about the idea of a fighter going into the ring and the mindset and how, like, really screwed up they get. And I kind of related it to us going on stage before a big show or something, and you kind of have that same, your mind's just kind of racing.
When they first asked you, did you think, okay, we're just gonna do a riff and it's gonna be an instrumental, or you heard we'll do a whole song and they'll just lift part of the song?
I don't know. It was really organic. We went down to the basement where we jammed. She had a riff, and we literally, I don't know, everything came together very quickly. I can barely remember the idea of, you know, writing the actual melodies or him writing the, like
yeah, like literally, I think it happened in one day, and it was the quickest song on that album.
It was tough writing the lyrics just because I'd never written something on someone else's idea, like point of view, like think about this, and he gave me some pointers of what, you know, the fighters think about, and so that was definitely a challenge, but a good challenge. Like I really enjoyed writing it.
Cool. It's
lyric-wise,
yeah, and it's a great sounding song and another very cool video, and I think we'll spin it for you. How about right now, Ryan?
I think well, there's one interesting little piece of trivia about the video.
That's always good.
Is where myself and Spick, where I'm actually using Ryan's bass in that video, and Spick's using our buddy Rizzo his guitar, because the morning that we were supposed to shoot that video, our trailer got broken into and all our shit got stolen. And so, yeah, we're like,
bad timing.
Yeah, it's never good timing. It's awful how often that kind of shit happens, that someone would rip off musicians. But, you know, it's never a good time. It's either right after a gig or right before a gig, or a video, you know, in this particular case. But
well, on a happy note, we did recover the bass and the guitar.
Yeah, thanks to the internet.
Thanks to the internet.
And Big Tony, you know, Big Tony.
Yeah. There was a little bit of that going on, actually.
There was definitely some of that gangster mentality.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Now we got this crazy old ninja dude who sits in the van. So if anybody tries to, you know, take anything, he's got a big sword. So
the van is a fortress. There's like 7 dogs in there.
7 canines. Yeah.
We don't even have room for gear. It's just
all protection.
And we're not even friendly with the dogs. Like, they try to attack us every time we're putting in shit.
Yeah. You put up with it because it's worth it.
They don't like anyone.
They rip
I don't
the
want
seats
people stealing my shit.
and just, you know, crap everywhere. It's
Can we plug a gig
brutal.
before we go?
Yeah, but
Citadel Theater, September 21st, with Philosopher. It's like a soft seat theater. Never played something this nice before.
It's nice to have a soft seater when people are actually comfortable and they're paying there, not to play pool, but to watch you guys.
Yeah,
you know?
So it should be pretty cool that way.
All right. Well, we're going to watch a little Hurricane. Then everyone can get a fresh cold beer, and we'll come back and do a little more chatting, a little more listening, a little more live music here at Barbershop Podcast. Here we got Hurricane from 40 Sons.
Let's go. I'll be there. Good. Knee.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready now? My fist is clenched on fear. All the blood, sweat, and my tears. So I've been for all these years. I don't want this, I don't need this. This fear returns to rage. Let 'em all locked in this cage. Another chance to turn a page. I don't want this, I don't need this. I am the calm before the storm. The battle right before the war. Now I won't stop, won't lose a day. Only one can walk away. You become the flame in my hurricane. This fire, it'll light the skies. Muzzle bright, it will terrorize. Cause the fire can't change my mind. I don't want this, I don't need this. If I live to see another day, I'll put it down and walk away. Another sound to another grave. I don't want this, I don't need this. I am the calm before the storm. The battle right before the war. I won't stop, won't lose a day. Only one can walk away. You become the flame in my hurricane. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I am the calm before the storm. The battle right before the war. What the hell have I done this for? Now I won't stop, won't lose today. Only one can walk away. You become the flame in my hurricane. Oh, you become the flame in my hurricane. You become the flame in my hurricane. I won't stop, won't lose today. Only one can walk away. Throwing my soul out on display. You become the flame in my hurricane.
That's the
You
full
will
solo.
not tap out. You will not tap out with 40 Sons, I tell you. They're going to finish you off. So, rock and roll, vicious game. It's a dream come true with a little bit of everything. You know, if you had to sum it up like 9 years ago, you know, you happy with the way the road's gone? Like, you're calling your own shots.
Love it.
Yeah.
We're our own boss. Life's good, you know?
Yeah, you're doing what you love.
Yeah, definitely.
And working, and like I said, you're working and you're meeting some great people.
Yeah,
You're meeting-
it's a great, like, just a life experience that, you know, a lot of people don't get to have. Going across Canada and meeting random people in Kenora or wherever we're talking about, you know, like, it's cool.
Any shouts outs to anyone you want to, now's your chance to say, you know, thanks for coming out.
Shout out to Jesus, my homie.
Homie, Jesus the homie, the Jomie.
Yeah, well, shout out to our manager Chris Humphreys, our producer for the last CD, Carl Jennings,
For the past two.
for the past two CDs. Yeah, Showdown Joe, Jeff Joslin. Who else am I forgetting? There's so many.
Once I got you started,
there are so many. Everybody.
Go down that road. We love you all.
Oh yeah, you guys. Thanks for having us in.
There you go.
Barber Shop
Right, Kevin. We actually got a little love.
Yeah.
We haven't been pushing the swag lately. We did hard when we were getting some swag. We haven't got swag in a while.
I'm digging that swag up there, though.
Yeah, if your band's coming in, you've got some swag.
Bring in some swag.
Stickers. So we got some.
Absolutely.
We got some. Keychains, it's like we'll take whatever we get.
Used towels
around here,
Okay, cool.
Depending on the hotel, if it's a nicer hotel, we like that.
Hilton.
Have a
used underwear.
Have a laser disc.
I want to promote the laser disc because sometimes you're going to only get the visual and you're going to catch it out of the corner of your eye. That's what it looks like. Okay, there's still physical product out there. You still want to buy it. You still want to get something tactile in your hand.
If you're in Hamilton, it's available at Cheapies and Dr. Disc and on our website. 40sons.com. Ryan, do you have a laser disc yet?
No, I'm still waiting for my copy.
This guy shot 2 of our videos.
3 videos, and I still don't have a CD.
Sometimes you just have to ask,
Thanks. I even paid for one on iTunes. I paid for Won't Give Up, so when we shot the video.
And we still haven't given you that $1 back because we're terrible people.
It's been expensed.
Don't worry, we'll all split it and then we'll get it back to you, Ryan.
Well,
you quarter each.
You've been great, and you've said you'll do one more live song for us before you have to say goodbye. What one are you? And this is one that does not, was not planned for, so it's a bit of an ad-libber, which I love even more.
Song is called Dust and Bones off our last album, Madness.
All right, here you go from 40 Sons at Barber Shop Podcast.
Listen, I'm done. I don't want you anymore. Get up, get out, or I will force you through the door. Confines, contains, I can't hide this anymore. Sad girl has become the monster. Become the monster. Tidal waves won't bring her down. She is set aside to me, yet she won't be done until I'm dust and bones. Tidal waves won't bring her down. She will never let me be. I'll be on the run until I'm dust and bones. Could you wake up? I'm not who you think I am. Face it, we're done. It's more shit than I can stand. Confines, contains, you would bury me alone. Lid on, nails down. If you can't have me, no one will. No one will. Tidal waves won't bring her down. She is set aside to me, yet she won't be done until I'm dust and bones. Tidal waves won't bring her down. She will never let me be. I'll be on the run until I'm dust and bones. Until I'm dust and bones. listen, I'm done. I don't want you anymore. Get up, get out, or I will force you through the door. Confines, contains, I can't have this anymore. You know, sad girl has become. Tidal waves will bring her down. She is set aside to me, yet she won't be done until I'm dust and bones. Tidal waves will bring her down. She will never let me be. I'll be on the run until I'm dust and bones. Oh, oh, until I'm dust and bones. Oh, oh, until I'm dust and bones. Oh, oh, until I'm dust and bones. 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 Until I'm dust and bones.
Dust and Bones. Well, you pulled that off very nicely, I may say.
Thank you very much.
No, good stuff. And happy to see that Carl Jennings is, working. He does great stuff. He's been associated with so much good music over the years, and clearly, once again, put together another great piece of work with these guys, 40 Sons, who we've had the great pleasure of having tonight on the show at Barber Shop Podcast. If you have an opportunity to see them live, do it. It's an incredible opportunity. Buy their CD off of their website, 40sons.com, iTunes. Anything at the end of this show connected with the band, click onto it, get taken to their site. Do yourself a favor. Guys, thanks for coming out.
Thanks so much for having us.
Had a good time kicking back, playing some music. Ryan, once again, another great show, another good times.
Yeah, it was a blast.
And now your 420
show.
begins. The 420 show. It's very magical.
1/10 of 420.
And 1/10 of 420.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next week, come back because we've got a real treat for you. September 11th, we got Varga on the show. Cool. Yeah, we got Dan and Joey going to come in, and we got some new music from Varga and some, I'm sure, great stories. But what a great Hamilton's proto-metal bands. Got lots of talent here every week. Thanks for coming out. BarbershopPodcast.com. Tell all your friends.